So this meeting is being live.
Oh, it's live.
Vandita? Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome all. Shall we start, Akka, or can we wait for some more time? I mean, for a few more minutes so that other participants also who are yet to come can wait for a few more minutes, or shall we start? How is it?
You take a call. Maybe we can wait for a few more minutes and you can start with some Kirtan.
Yes, please, Nanda Akka.
You do a Kirtan for change today. Okay, I'll start with Kirtan.
Yes, Akka.
Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jaya Pataka Swamin Iti Namine Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatyadishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Wow, wow. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for starting with the Kirtan Akka. It was wonderful. And Hare Krishna, welcome to all for the IYS. Today's How Know Your Mentor program. I'm Vandita Madhavi from IYS Chennai. So basically, I am from Hindupur and I was connected to, so to know more about you, to know more about about the program. So let me introduce about myself. I'm Vandita Madhavi. I said I'm from ISKCON Chennai, IYS. It's been 7 years in association with IYS. So, and today is I am so excited and I'm so happy and at the same time nervous also because I'm going to make you connected with your mentors. Actually, because this is, since we are in virtual, otherwise it was in physical, because if we were in physical, there is a lot of a relation between personally to know more about your mentors. But since we are now, since the lockdown, we are all over from all over different places. Like, if you are from Delhi, if you're from Bombay, from Hyderabad, and all we are came together and here connected in the Zoom. And, there is a lot of, you have choose a lot of your mentors, but then you don't know about your mentors, what actually they are, and what are the other phase of your mentors, how are they, and to know more about them and to make you connected with them. So today I came here with this program, like Know Your Mentor. So to know more about me, I'm an aeronautical engineer, DISC, and I did my airline management, and I worked for Indigo Airlines in Kolkata, and I had a sports trainer also. I'm for toddlers. I used to, especially for the celebrity film star kids, I used to train them and conduct the birthday parties and all the events. And then later I shifted to Chennai, and I worked I served in ISKCON Chennai and Govinda in Shuddha Sattva restaurant as a manager. And then now currently I have my own business. I run in my hometown and in Bangalore as well. So this is more about me. And so I have a special relationship with today of your mentors, like, with I'm revealing the names like NandaPriya Akka and Nitya Kishori Sakhi. So basically, I call them Akka. So, however, for you they are Matajis, and for them I'm like sister. So even though I'm old, I'm old also. Then still I call them as Akka because for them I'm like Chinna Pilla Pilla. They call me. So I call them. They are like my Akkas, and I call them always. And the same, they also reciprocated with me like that. And such a sweet people, like, all these two. For me, it's very, very special because I had a special relation. And from the starting, from this day one in ISKCON, I started. So NandaPriya, the first day I met her, and she was eating sambar rice and curd rice. I remember still she was there, and that day I met her, and the next week I met Nitya Kishori Sakhi. So from then, I know the day when my journey has started with them. So they used to pamper me. I mean, they are like very, very sweet, 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 like nectar actually, I have to tell, because they share that they correct me, they help me, they pamper me, they share everything. They share everything, because if I am like this, and if I'm, I have seen them as a role model, and I mean, they have grown so much, and from them I have learned a lot, and I have been inspired by seeing them, and I have a special admiring factors with them, because their services and their love towards guru and their mentors and their Krishna consciousness, everything, all their ups and downs, I have been little part, I have been known a few of them. So by seeing them, I have learned a lot. So today I'm going to, make you know about all those which you have not which you have not seen. So I'm going to bring them all those their life, their journey into Krishna consciousness, and make you more connected with them. So welcome NandaPriya Akka and Nitya Kishori Akka. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, can you please unmute?
Yeah,
Hare Krishna, Nanda Akka. How are you?
I'm fine, Vandita. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Nitya Akka.
It's so exciting to see your exciting face.
I don't actually. It's been 3 weeks. I guess 3 weeks. It's been postponing this program, and finally today we had come here because of my travels and my health. Actually, for everyone, for the audience, my voice is not this. So I have little better version of my voice. This is actually, and I mean similar to it, but little polished one. So since it is, I had a cold, so my voice is like that. So bear with me, all of you. And how are you, Nitya Akka? Please.
Good. How are you?
Yes, I am doing great. Thank you. So
So
today,
happy to be here.
yes. So most of you all don't know that Nitya is little introvert. She doesn't speak much. So today I'm going to make her speak a lot of her and to know more about her also. So let me start with the program. So know your mentors. So actually this program is know your mentor. So all of them doesn't know your mentor. You know maybe a little bit of your mentors. You're talking with them personally or connecting with them. But then what are they actually when they are in at your place, when they are initial of in your Krishna consciousness, like how you all are, right? How they faced, how they were into at this level. So to know, ask all these things. So let me ask few questions one after one. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, Akka. So basically it's like an interview kind. So for Nanda Akka, I'm going to ask you, how did you come to Krishna Conscious? Like what made you to come Krishna Conscious to IYS or ISKCON?
Right. So how I came to IYS is that interestingly, my college was close to the temple, the present ISKCON temple. And when I was a kid, I used to visit the Burkett Road temple in T Nagar. So Chennai had a T Nagar temple, and then the temple shifted. And my school was in T Nagar. And then when I graduated from school to college, my college was on ECR, East Coast Road. So I selected the college because of the road, actually. So East Coast Road was the place where I wanted to hang out the most.
Wow.
And then, but then I realized that the ISKCON temple has also moved. So then I started going there more often. And then after that, after a few years, I had, some questions which were really, like I was always wondering about. And I already had the Bhagavad Gita. I had ISKCON Bhagavad Gita, and I read it, but I did not really understand anything. I had some of Prabhupada's small books also. I was in many of the Radha Yatras. From I'm 3 years old, I'm exposed to the Radha Yatras, ISKCON Janmashtami programs, because my parents were life members. But it felt at home, it felt peaceful, but I never understood anything. So I was really desperately looking for, some answers and for somebody to explain. And then I came across, like a small poster in outside the Chennai temple. It was a small temple, a humble temple then. And that time there was a small poster saying, SSR, Science of Self-Realization, Bhagavad Gita, explained or whatever, and 7 sessions. And I attended that when I was in my third year of college. And the first session, I was like, wow, like, it was just opening some doors. And then every week I would wait for those sessions, and the second and the third and the fourth, and it was getting really exciting for me. And they were taking it level by level, every question answered, and it was amazing, the experience which I went through those 7 weeks. And those 7 weeks, those classes were taken by Sukirti Mataji and Amrendra Prabhu. So the way they presented, the way they could answer questions, the way they could connect to a young mind, that was brilliant. And I think that was the turning point. That's when I actually took up to Krishna consciousness, and that changed. So that's how I came to Krishna consciousness.
Wow, thank you, Akka. And Nitya Akka, how about you? How did you come to Krishna consciousness, and what made you to come to Krishna consciousness or IYS?
Yeah. So I guess the journey sounds similar to NandaPriya probably. Like I got connected to ISKCON. Like I came to know about ISKCON probably when I was in school. My mother used to go buy books from T Nagar temple. So I have never entered ISKCON temple those days. So she would go buy books. She would read in Tamil. So she would get, and then she would read certain important points. She would underline. She would read it out to me. So I never understood so much, and I was not so keen in understanding or appreciating. So it was like that. And then when I was in school, like our house was close to one of the Bhakti Vriksha, like where ISKCON has this house programs, weekly programs. So I would go there every week, so eat, and I would sleep off in the Bhagavad Gita class. So I never understood much. So probably, it was not meant for me. I would feel like, people of different age, nobody like friends or anything. So I just remember the aartis, everything. So, and then maybe I was in college and I had this disconnection from ISKCON or anything of that sort. So that 4 years of my college, I was not connected. I was not chanting or anything. And then soon after my college, I got placed in a company, software company. So I joined. So that's when I got connected to IYS. So I started to come to ISKCON, and one fine day, like when I saw one of the IYS girl, I would remember Ekaleshwari. So when I saw her in her gopi dress, so if you know, like there's a skirt and top, printed dress. So I was so keen to know like where she got that dress. So as Vandita mentioned initially, I was quite an introvert, so I was hesitant to ask. I asked my mother, go and check out like where she purchased the dress. So then she asked. So that's it. And she said she got it from Mayapur. I had no idea. And then one day I saw Priya Sakhi after lunch. So I would go every Sunday. So one of the Sunday I saw Priya Sakhi. I told my mother, so check with her if there's any class happening. So and then she asked her. So she said like, yes, like we have Bhagavad Gita classes. And the next week they had this IYS class, like how we are having this online program. So we would have every Sunday live personal classes with Sukirti Mataji. So they had a program in Priya Sakhi's house. Her house is close to temple. So she said that next week we are having a program. So why don't you come for that? So she invited to her home. So that was my first IYS class. So we have a group photo of it also. So I remember that. And that's how I got connected to IYS. So, and the first class of Sukirti Mataji really attracted me. It really pulled me off everything. And then, as Nanda was saying, how the SSR class. So then there was SSR sessions happening, and then simultaneously we had every Sunday evening afternoon we had Amrendra Prabhu's Bhagavad Gita class. So all these classes actually helped me to understand so many questions that I had, basically because I got disconnected from everything when I was in college. But that's when I got so many questions. I started to look, but in a different place, and I was not convinced. But then when I came here, and same thing like what Prabhupada had given and how Mataji Prabhuji presented, so all those really made a difference in my life. So that gave a foundation for my Krishna consciousness, I can tell.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much for your sharing a story like before how it was and how you started. And for Nanda Akka, I like most of them may know or may not know, but NandaPriya Akka is actually a doctor. She's a dentist. So when I came to know that she's a doctor, my first, this question is also related to that one. So, she was having this sambar as first day I was studying, right? So someone told, like, Masukirti Mataji told me she's a doctor. I was like, oh, she's a doctor, and why she's in temple? I mean, because generally in a science student,
Right?
sorry, especially the science students and especially doctors, they don't, I mean, students basically, because elder people maybe, but then students generally don't believe in God or, in spirituality, all these things. So when I heard that such a young, she's a doc, I mean, she's a student and she was actually a student because she finished her college and she's about to practice that time. And she's coming to Krishna Consciousness, and she's also like in Gopi skirt and everything. I was also like, wow, I had this question for her that time, but I didn't ask. So what, being a healthcare professional, like how did you get into Krishna Consciousness? How did you believe actually in Krishna Consciousness?
I would say, why not? Right. So, I mean, this is a probably becoming a fashion these days. But why not if you're a science professional or a researcher or a healthcare professional why not believe in God in the first place? Now, maybe some analogy would be that now you said you're an engineer and you're a business person. Suppose I come and ask you, my third molar is impacted and it seems to be that there's a buccal pit there. So can you help me? So you may not be able to, first of all, comprehend what I'm saying if I'm speaking in this language.
Yes.
And I'm sure you may not be able to help me.
Yes.
So for a doctor or for a dentist or for any scientific student, to think that God is bogus and it's not there, it does not exist, actually doesn't make logical sense to me, because they probably don't know about God and the entire aspect of spiritual life. So I would say these are two different things, and they're not interrelated, and meaning to say that if we believe in science, then we cannot believe in God. So that's one thing. And then and as Srila Prabhupada, when I started reading Srila Prabhupada's books and when I understood the philosophy, I came to know that especially with our imperfect senses, like we have senses which are not so perfect. My memory is a good example. I keep something in some place, I don't really remember it. Or, Prabhupada gives the example of you're wearing a glass and that has a red covering on it. So you see everything red, but not necessarily everything around you is red. So with these imperfect senses, nobody can actually understand a perfect person called as God. So there's no point in saying that I'm in this particular educational field, and so I don't see God, and so I don't believe in God. So I think that, first of all, that is a baseless notion. And if we go to the right people, and if we try to understand that we cannot understand God, but then we can understand him through revealed scriptures, which he himself has revealed, then it's very easy, no matter what professional you are, to take up God consciousness. And I think this very basic thing that everybody feels that there's a power above you, there's something controlling us, there's something controlling the universe, and this entire philosophy of creator, like how we see that everything around us is created, including this mobile phone which I'm speaking to. So somebody is creating everything. So how did all of us come into existence? There must be a creator. So then again, believing in God would be very logical. And, to believe the scientific theory that, the entire world came from nothing seems a little, it doesn't seem convincing.
Wow, thank you, Akka, for revealing this. Even I have not asked this before, but now I got the answer. Thank you so much. Yes, actually, because why I asked this? Many of the doctors or many of this nowadays, this generation, like people don't believe in God, or because they are into different zone, like, okay, they don't come in, enter into, they don't like show interest also what is there actually. So that is why I asked you, like, what are your thoughts? How did you get into it and being a doctor, being a student like that? Yes. So for Nitya Akka, like you said, that you're now, like you were going to for the classes initially, but you're not interested also. You said that you were, this is not for me. So what was the first impression upon seeing the ISKCON devotees for the first time? I know what, or the temple for you. Like what impression made you for the first time when you saw them?
So when I first interacted, I can say, with the IYS girls, so I could see that there is no jealousy. Like each and everybody genuinely had that, concern, and then genuine happiness for each other. So which is so rare to see outside. Because I think also because when and after, just immediately after my college, I got in touch, and I could say, like, Krishna being very merciful and kind, like he gave me that environment for me to stay in ISKCON. So I can say like that, because when I joined all these IYS girls of my similar age, because I was so attached to friends in college, but still, like, sometimes we see certain, misunderstanding, or we also come across some jealousy or anything. But then when I saw here with the IYS girls, it was not even a tinge of jealousy I found. That really impressed me and that attracted me, I can say. So where we had the genuine interest in each other's, wellness. So that was like beyond imagination, I can say. And still I can feel that we still have, like, the set of IYS girls whom I'm referring to is like who joined maybe 10 years back when Sukirti Mataji started IYS. So I can, that is my very first impression about, can say, ISKCON or IYS.
Yes. Even for me, like, I have a special bond, I said, right? This because of this, this one of the best quality, like, just one pure quality. Like everyone had such love, they used to share to everyone. And for me, NandaPriya used to follow up. Actually, this nowhere, she used to follow up with me, like, how are you, dear? What are you doing? And then she used to refer, she used to ask me many things, which actually connected me also and closely, like how Nitya said, that was no jealous, and there was so much of purity with everyone. They used to have a genuine feeling, and that to know about their wellness and to know about each and everything. So yes, I agree with you, Akka. How did you connect with the Krishna consciousness? I mean, that one impression. So to adding up this question, so how did you manage your spiritual life and material life, like with your family, friends, relatives? Because not everyone are really devotees. Like, I know you're in your home. They're not devotees like initially. How did you manage with them, with your family, with your friends, and now here? It's for you.
So we would go every weekend to temples. So that gave me closer association with devotees. So where I learned so much, a lot about practicing Krishna consciousness and then applying it practically. So that gave me a little more knowledge and intelligence, I can say. So to live a devotee life. And then when I saw that how my parents are not so favorable initially, so like I would find it difficult. So I can also, like, see, like, some of the girls personally, when I interacted, they have mentioned how they find it difficult, and some of them, like, they chant without their parents' knowledge. So they have to chant with the clicker, so all these things. So it was not so tough, but still at the same time, when I become little more serious in Krishna consciousness, my parents were little scared, like whether our daughter would go away. So I had to give that knowledge and that understanding that no, it is not like that. So I would balance my life. I don't give up anything that you wanted, and as well as I want to include this in my life. So that, I think, IYS gave me a broader perspective of living a balanced life, I can say. Because most of almost everybody, like, you see in IYS, they are working, they are not full-time devotees. So they are working as well as they are practicing, and they have a family. So when my parents also saw that, and they were okay, convinced, and then with my behavior also, I just try to explain that it's not so like that. So it is okay, we can do this as well as we can do that. So I do things for their pleasure, happiness, as well as I do things like going to temple on weekends. So all these things I was doing, so they were okay, happy. So but still, sometimes if things are tough, I would explain that, I want to do, I wish to do, I feel happiness in doing this. So sometimes for the yatra, so all these things were there. But then if we are quite focused, and if we are convinced about what we are doing, if we know what our goal is, then we can also get the guidance from our seniors, and we can explain. First, we try to convince ourselves that why we want to do what we are doing, and then we can convince our parents also. And if they see that we are being practical, so then they would accept. But then we should have that focus and determination, as well as take the guidance of seniors.
Okay, thank you, Akka. So NandaPriya, how about you? How did you manage your spiritual life and your family, and outside the world, being a like a doctor, like everywhere you have to associate with a lot of people, and and what I know, you have come through a lot of ups and downs also. So how did you practice in your bhakti and focus? How did you according to you, the most important thing in your bhakti in this?
So I think the first thing was you were asking how I balanced.
Yes.
To be honest, I found it difficult. And I think I still find it difficult if I have to deal with people outside. It is a challenge, but I just somehow preach to myself. After hearing to classes, like how Nitya was saying, we have to learn to be practical. So that is something I would do. And I also tried to look at it at a preaching angle, because I was still in college when I was there. So I was thinking that being friends with everybody around me, and kind of starting to get into people's good books, will also maybe get me association, and also will keep the atmosphere a little more favorable. And maybe there that way I can also speak probably what I would like to speak, or if it's something about the Bhagavad Gita or something like that. So I was trying to introduce that aspect of my life into my college life itself, so that people start accepting this new change, and they start also trying to associate with, we start trying to associate with each other in that capacity. And that was nice. So that was one way I tried to balance. So I think that's one thing that we all can try and do if we are in a place of work, and or in a place of education. If we are not feeling that constant devotee association, one thing we can try and do is make our own association. It can be in whatever level we can do it. Like, not necessary that everybody around us has to start chanting 16 rounds or agree with whatever that we are saying, but at least if they are able to accept certain things, like okay, this person doesn't eat onion and garlic, and they don't think that we're crazy, but they know that we have a reason for that, and start appreciating Krishna in some aspect, connect them to ISKCON in a bigger aspect. So sometimes maybe we would hide ourselves. If we don't do that, be more open, at the same time be practical, like Nitya Kishori was saying, then that's an easy way to balance. Otherwise, after a period of time, it may become very difficult to interact with people who are outsiders. Otherwise, it becomes tough. So that's one thing. And what was the second part?
Yes, you have faced like a lot of ups and downs in your life. So,
Yeah.
like, what according to you is the most important thing to continue the bhakti?
Yeah, so I think ups and downs, that's part of everybody's life, and especially in my spiritual life also, I had a lot of lows and ups, etc. So I think the most important thing is, for me at least, is the mercy of devotees, prayers, and their constant association. I think that's what made all the difference and makes the difference for me. Because yes, there is philosophy, yes, there is books, yes, there is kirtan, but then at some point of time, uh, they may not work, because I'm not taking shelter, we are not taking enough shelter of all these available things. But it is the mercy of devotees. Like, I remember anytime I have a problem, I go and speak to Sukirti Mataji, and Mataji reflects it out for me, tries and gives me a solution. And then I go and tell any other senior devotee, or if I'm even listening to a one-to-one class of some devotee, then I'm understanding that, oh, I'm going through this problem. And having this strong connection with your mentors, your seniors, that is one most important thing. And second is also, what really helped me is having that bond with all the other IYS girls, because like Nitya was saying, like you were saying, it was like real family. So when you're there for each other, then people are constantly pulling you up and helping you so much that there's practically no way you can't deal with it, because there's so much of help available. So yes, mercy of devotees, prayers of devotees, association of devotees. I think that is the most important thing that helped me and helps me.
Thank you, Akka. Actually, I remember my Kolkata days, my days when I was alone. So this is the same to what they have told, like, have a self-association and, constant, if we are not able to have that association with anyone, so have your own self-association, try to at least come. And yes, like you said, ups and downs are everywhere. It's quite natural. And then how you are going to deal with it is very important. And thank you so much for telling this. And now I'm going to ask you, like, many of them like know or don't know that NandaPriya is also married and she has a kid, but she doesn't look like. She always look young. Actually, both of them, Nitya kind, they look like Kishori kind. They don't increase the age.
Yeah,
So I want to ask you, how is your marriage life in Krishna Consciousness? And yes, first let me ask you this. So how is your marriage life in Krishna Consciousness?
marriage life is like marriage life.
I mean, is marriage necessary for a woman these days? Because from your perspective, I mean, because why? Because these days girls are very being working and independent. They don't want to take more of responsibilities and being controlled actually. So did you have that face such challenges, any such challenges? And if so, how did you come up with and how did you face that and agreed for the marriage and you got married?
Yeah. So like most modern women, I was also not trusting in the relation. I mean, the concept of marriage so much, and also some experiences. So you're thinking, oh my God, I'm so much more better alone. And so that kind of independence is something that is very enjoyable, because I think all of us want to be independent. And marriage life is, I think, very nice, and it keeps you supported, and but it also makes you understand that you can't be that independent that you want to be, because now you have another person and then another family, and then everything is expanding around you. It's an entire society that is suddenly formed when compared to being a bachelor. So yes, for somebody who's not married, it must be so attractive that maybe I don't get married and I just be as independent as I want. But then again, the Shastras explain that, it is like a fortress with a Grihastha ashram. And I see that it is true that it is like you are protected, and you are more focused on at least trying to follow your bhakti, because you never know at which point of time, you'd want to do something else, or you may develop an interest on somebody, and then maybe that somebody is available, not available, or all kinds of anxieties. But then at a particular age, at least if you interact with one person, and then you understand that, okay, this is my life partner or whatever. I'm just talking in a general way. So I think that makes sense, that fine, you have a person and you have a family, and then you have stuff to focus on, and then you're actually learning what real life is, because you have to adjust and tolerate. At the same time, you'll be getting affection and love. So it'll be a mixture of things, which I think will help you grow as a person. And spiritually also, you'll know that you have to step up on your own. It's not going to be as easy as it was before, but because of the time available, etc. But I guess we just evolve. So yes, Prabhupada recommends marriage definitely, as per the Shastra. So I think it is definitely something that would help any individual.
Okay, thank you, Akka. I hope everyone got some insight of the marriage, and most of them are like not married, and they were like thinking of, is it necessary, is it being in Krishna consciousness, then let's be independent and all. So this is the most common question for everyone, like who are not married, like why marriage is important, is it why
And I think
can't
especially women, like for Indian women, like it's very important to have this sense of security, because we are brought up like that. So when you have it, especially at an older age, perhaps it's easier to focus on Krishna consciousness.
Yes, thank you, Akka. I don't have any, we have to accept because that is actually the authentic, and this is the way have to be taking. So it has to be done like that. So my question is for Nitya Akka now. So what is the most unique and important factor about ISKCON, which that you wanted, that you would never seen in anywhere else? Because these days everywhere there are a lot of communities coming, and what made you that so important factor that in ISKCON that you have stick here?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, that factor is me.
Hare Krishna Mataji, wow!
That factor is me.
Yes, Mataji, obviously. It is. Thank you for giving this.
I would say that too.
I will say that too.
I guess all the participants here, 35 of us, can say that. That's holding us.
Yes. So, are you going to give me an answer, or can we stop this answer?
No, that is more than anything.
Yes. Okay. So, what have you gained by joining in Krishna Consciousness?
So, like Mataji said, Mataji came, so I don't know what to say. So, yes, I would say IYS is the main factor. Because if you see, ISKCON, it's a broader organization, like where we have people from different walks of life. Some are very from traditional background, some are very modern. So, but here, when I came, nobody judged, especially Sukirti Mataji, and then the IYS. So they never judged for my behavior, for my attitude, for my habits. So I can say they tolerated in first place. They tolerated first, and then maybe when it is time, when I am ready to listen to corrections, so that's when I got what I needed for my progress or advancement in my Krishna consciousness. So that is something very nice. It's not like you come first day and they say like, these are the do's and these are the don'ts. So, you follow this or get lost. So it's not like that. So IYS gives you a family atmosphere where you can help each other and grow. So that is something gives stability. for my Krishna consciousness, I can see.
Thank you. So to add up this question, to continue this, so I see you take up a lot of services, like, especially Nitya Akka, like, in everything, like, she is into different services. Like I say, okay, Nitya Akka, there is she's always something or the other. She's handling some services like it's Study Gita or IYS, or it may be Mashless, or it may be Guru Maharaj services, or it may be Shuddha Sattva, or it may be any kind of services. She has a lot of a lot of service in her hands. So how do you manage, Akka? How do you manage all these services at a time? Like, there is no gap. I don't think so. There is no space for you. So you have been involved in like most of the services, and you like to take up lots of services also. So how do you manage all these things, all the services?
In first place, it's not like I only do. I still remember how NandaPriya was already doing even before I joined. Before I joined, they had a huge event called Juggernaut, like where they went. I still hear from Priya Sakhi, like how NandaPriya and Priya Sakhi, they would drive, like Nanda would drive and they would go to collect funds. They would go to each and every shop and they would collect funds to conduct that event, Juggernaut, where I don't know how many hundreds of thousands, I don't know how many enrollment, like they sold tickets, like it's a ticketed program, like they have to pay and get tickets. So NandaPriya had done such wonderful services. So whatever I'm doing,
you made all of us do.
Yes, the services is something that keeps us engaged in Krishna consciousness, because like Nanda told, like how philosophy, we have so many things, but still at the end of the day we are person and we need active service. We need to be engaged physically, so to keep our mental health also to be balanced, so we need physical service. So that I got from IYS, I can say. When I say IYS, Sukiti Mataji and Amrendra Prabhu, how they very nicely they engaged us. They gave us services that we can handle, that we can do, and they also guided us. So that way, it's not like we are left all alone. So, but then we also got guidance to do the service. So that way, I'm very, very grateful to Mataji and Prabhuji for giving the services. So, and even to balance, like that's how I get the strength or the intelligence, anything from them only. And I can say there was a time that when all these IYS girls, when they got married and they moved off, so there was a emptiness in my life. So that I was so scared to go through, like I missed them almost every day. So it was something so difficult for me to overcome. So that's when I thought, like, my life can't stop here, because we all got connected because of Krishna, with Krishna in the center, serving Srila Prabhupada, pleasing Prabhupada, our guru, our seniors. So that's how we got connected. So our services can't stop there, because it is not a material connection. It's not on a very emotional level. It is properly with philosophy, with Krishna in the center. So I guess that's when I thought, like, okay, it's time that I get myself involved in services. And Mataji and Prabhuji being very kind, they understood my need and they reciprocated.
Yeah, I see you when you're in services, you be very happy. Because even me also, like, being in service, actually service makes happy, and we know connected.
Everybody, it's not
everybody.
just me.
Yes, everybody. So,
So unless we are in our, proper condition, in our eternal condition, serving Krishna, so we can't be happy.
Wow. Yes, I agree with you. That's a lovely statement, actually. So for Nanda Akka, like, how is life in Mayapur? Like, like you being in Chennai, and you, been born and brought up everything here, and suddenly you've moved after marriage and you've been to Mayapur. So how is it different from Chennai to Mayapur? How is your life in Mayapur? How is it going?
Yeah, so I think now I've been in Chennai more for a year and more. Well, Mayapur is special. It is a dham. I'm sure many of you have visited. So it is the headquarters of ISKCON. So it's a grand place, and you can feel the mercy there, especially of Lord Chaitanya. You feel Lord Chaitanya's mood, and it is very sweet. The entire place is sweet. It is, and I guess you understand the culture of ISKCON very much in front of your eyes, because you're seeing people from literally different walks of life, 90 or 100 different countries visiting, and all of them under the same roof, seeing the big deities of Sri Radha Madhav and the Ashtasakis and Panchatattva, Nrsimhadev, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So what Mayapur to me is these deities. So that's what I feel as soon as you say Mayapur, that's what I'm able to connect to. So Mayapur is these deities and this wonderful culture of ISKCON, which you see in a very close proximity. And yes, but Chennai, I guess the idea is more about when we're associating with devotees. That is, it is a lot to do with preaching and trying to reach out to people. So in Mayapur, you don't have that opportunity. So that way, it's different. But I guess it's a great opportunity to internalize and to take mercy and to read more Shastra. So that is something that I found different in Mayapur, but at the same time, it was very powerful and is very powerful to me. And I think it's also very purifying. Staying in Mayapur is very, very purifying. You can feel the difference in the consciousness, because you're actually seeing people, like, for example, you're reading that it's not really important to be too much into education, and you see children going to Gurukul, not really studying any of the material education, and you see them actually being happy, living normal lives, having a small business, literally being born and dead in Mayapur. They live there and they die there. The dham is everything for them. And so you see all those things in a little more practical. Oh, this is really possible by some people. So that kind of thing also Mayapur has shown me.
Yeah. And you're a doctor in Mayapur Hospital also. So how do you manage your spiritual life and your professional life and your personal life? Because now you're mother also. So how do you manage all these three so in Mayapur and as a being a doctor there?
Okay, I need to be truthful also. So I'm not able to manage. So maybe I get a lot of help from my parents.
Okay.
And as far as my spiritual life is concerned, Sukirti Mataji is still giving me whatever service I can do, like, taking care of some amount of Telugu classes and, giving me that responsibility. So Mataji is like taking care of that aspect in like all ways. And my sadhana is suffering, to be honest. So I'm trying to get there. So I hope I get to manage better. I can manage better. I hope I can manage better.
Yes, because these days, like some tips, also some tips on managing time, as we see, like women have play different roles, like like a mother, a daughter, daughter-in-law, and wife, and a professional if they're working, if they're working. So all these roles, how can you manage your time and everything? Like you have your parents, you said, but still there is like you individually like your individual also, you have to put all your places, and you have to keep all of them satisfied, or keep all of them at place. Everything should be done. So how are you managing? How are any tips for this you can give it?
She doesn't like me to be honest. So I can be hyper. Yeah, so I guess one thing is that accepting your present situation. Like, I'm accepting my situation, that yes, at this point of time, this is how much I can do. So that's one way. That's one way I keep myself a little calm and say, okay, things will change. The time has to come, and things will evolve, kind of a thing. In the sense, this is in regards to things I was able to do before and I'm not able to do before. That's one thing. And in terms of I think pleasing people, when I'm seeing people are trying to really help me, so then I also naturally feel that yes, we have to reciprocate with them, and also, make things as smooth as possible. Although it's not really possible, especially in COVID time, everything is getting so heated up. People are staying in the same place, and it's not that easy. And yeah, so as far as, taking care of my daughter or my Prabhu or uh, my mother-in-law, just trying to get there and trying to take as much help as possible so that I can be mentally sane. Because I think it's so important somewhere to be sane and take care of ourselves, and only then we'll be able to, at least think about things and try and put our hands at different things. So taking help, I think, and telling yourself that this too, I mean, at this phase of my life, I'm not sure if this is applicable to every phase of life, but telling myself that this things will change and I need, my priorities are different now, or something like that. Speaking to myself and taking every day as step by step. So I set my goals for myself, but many a times I'm not able to do what I want to do. But at least I remind myself that this was my goal. This is like, I wanted to chant at this time, but I was not able to chant at that time. So, or my chanting has not been at all good today. So can I make at least 4 rounds better? So step by step, little by little, taking steps, but at least being aware. I think that's one more thing that I'm trying to do. I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm trying to be more aware of my sadhana, how I'm doing and all that, so that at least I can get there. Because I think if I just completely let it go, then it won't happen. So that's another way I'm trying to manage. And time, I guess I'm just, all of this is fitting into my time somewhere, and I'm trying to manage my time.
Yeah, actually taking the small steps is very, very important, because being having a, like lot of roles we have to play. So, and asking ourselves, like, where are we, and what is our goals? This actually helps also. So for everyone, I can, this is one of the tip I can definitely, in maybe start doing this in a small tips, like myself talking to myself and setting up small goals, and and taking help. Actually we have to, that is very important, helping. And you have to communicate also, that is also, so that they also can come and help. So that's very thank you so much for that, Akka. And for Nitya Akka, now I'm going to ask you this one question, because since you have taken a lot of stuff, you take, I mean generally not only you but everyone, but you especially, I see a lot of you, involving many services, and how do you think we should prioritize like our spiritual practices, chanting, reading, and other services? Like, how do you give us some tips? Like, how do you do that one in your life?
Chanting is the most important thing. Chanting should be in the first in our list. Prabhupada says 99% of our spiritual advancement is in chanting. So, and also, so Mataji Proji had started this morning japa session 6 to 8. So that is helping me a lot, I can say. So where I feel responsible to join and chant my rounds in the morning. And then, yes, reading, I would say, yeah. So more than service, because the service for us to do in proper consciousness, we need the knowledge. So that for that we need to read the books. Reading Prabhupada's books would give us the clarity and conviction, like why we are doing this service, for what we are doing this service. Because sometimes, like in the service, we may get like we have to adjust with people, coordinate with each other, different opinions would come up. So everything. So when we read Prabhupada books, we understand our goal, like why we are doing that service, to please Krishna. So more than any of our false ego or our opinion. So it is like, what would please Krishna? Whose opinion? So it's not like who is saying or whether my opinion people take as fine. So it's not any of that, but to please Krishna is the ultimate thing. So that way, chanting and then reading, and then comes the services. So then the service would be more effective, I could say.
Nice. So could you please tell us about your relationship with your mentor, and how did it was help you in your spiritual life? I want to ask this question to both of you. So please tell us about your relationship with your mentor, and how did it help you actually in your spiritual life?
Should I go first?
Yes, anyone.
So yeah, I think first of all, making me convinced, and then completely grounding me. So that is another. My mentor means, of course, it is Kirti Mataji and also Amrendra Prabhu. Like Prabhu also used to take classes. So philosophically, completely, like giving knowledge and then brushing of all the existing muck, and then convincing me, and then even helping me completely take initiation and getting me back on track, because there was a phase, when I was thinking, no, maybe or may not, so even that. And then guiding me for every aspect of life. I think it has been an amazing journey. Like, nobody, I don't think, gets the opportunity of having, like somebody like Mataji telling you the nuances of how to go about not only spiritual life, material life, and knowing that there's somebody so knowledgeable and so spiritual and pure with no other motivation, completely available for you. That's like an it's like, mm, you feel sorted, you feel completely sorted, you feel safe. And then even if you have any downs in spiritual life, like Mataji, for example, she was always available for me. Even when I said the craziest of things, she showed me that I was wrong. She didn't judge me, and she helped me, and she connected me to my spiritual master. And then I got more mercy because I was connected through Sukirti Mataji. So it is like a ladder that's always going up. And I think without Mataji, I would be nowhere. I would at least not be in ISKCON. So I think it's like the pivotal role. And how my relationship developed with Madhavi is that we would go from, talking about the what really happened was that, like I told you, my college was close to the temple. So my college was also close to Mataji's and Prabhu's house, which was close to the temple there. So we used to just, myself, Praja, Kavita, we would all go and just crash land in Mataji's house. And, she'd be like, oh, hi, you come. And then, we'll get all wonderful prasadam. And this prasadam is so important for me. And, so I would relish the prasadam and be completely taken care of. And, all the problems of the youth and the crazy mind, especially when you're, in your 18, 19, 20, 21, you're thinking all sorts of things. And you have so many problems with the entire world. So I remember, like, one of my IYS girls, used to have a lot of problems with her peers in college. So some people, like, or we used to discuss problems with our parents, different kinds of personal, um, completely not very important stuff, if you think about it now. But then Mataji would listen to everything and give us solutions for everything.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of a personal time. And so when I see that, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that you actually need, drops of blood, buckets of blood to make a devotee, it is true. So these devotees, these teachers, my mentors, they have literally done it. It's not easy to make devotees. It's not easy to keep them on track. So literally, like Sukirti Maji and Prabhu, they have done this for me. And I think so my relationship, it was very personal, and it was very with a mix of philosophy, and it was everything. So, from
Yeah.
prasadam to everything.
They're like everything. They are everything. Yes. Nitya, please tell us about you. I mean, how was your relationship with your mentors, and how did it help you in your spiritual life?
There are certain things I heard from Mataji about, you know, our how we should be like a mentee, how we should be with our counselors. So when Mataji have discussed certain points, I vividly remember like how we should be very transparent with our counselor. She often says like, and she had said that how she was transparent, and she is so transparent, because that's when we get the full help. Because like we get into some problem, some issue, so and we need help. So if we want to seek guidance and get guidance, then we should be very open, we should be transparent, we should be able to say everything, uh, trusting them that they are not judgmental. So when these things are there, so then we will open up also. So, and then, yeah, this is one thing I remember Mataji saying, and I am not so. So I found it very difficult in my early stage of Krishna consciousness, because I don't reveal so many things. I would be very quiet, maybe little thing I would tell, and I would not tell rest of things. And then slowly, maybe later, if some problem comes up, and then I'll tell. So Mataji also had such tough time with me. And now also, so she has. So that's how I've been. But then seeing her, like being around her, knowing her personality and how she interacts, so all those really help me to open up, like how important it is, how it is very much needed for me to get help. So all those are when I saw in her, so it helped me. And then Mataji also says this thing that how anything good, if you see in me, it is because of my spiritual master. She always says that. So when you would say like how you got help, like how you are, so when people say, I earlier, like I would not understand so much, but now as time progressed, when I see like people say you're humble or anything, I could personally see that I am not. And if people are seeing, that is only because of the mercy of the seniors and Guru and Prabhupada. So otherwise it's not possible, because it is not there. So if they are seeing, it is just what they have given and what we are trying, aspiring to do, and that's how it is coming out. So when I would not never understand that statement when Mataji would say, but now it is so 100% true that anything and everything, any quality, it is just by their mercy.
Yeah, I would definitely, relate like what you both are saying. They are everything actually. We have to be very transparent to our mentors. Then that is why when we get the help in our spiritual life. And I know how NandaPriya was saying she used to tell everything, which is not so important also. But then she takes to make a devotee, like how she was saying that she highlighted the point. It was really true that she has evolved, or I mean she has made us like that. It's because she had learned from her spiritual master, and she has given that message. She has been flowing, and she was giving, and that's how you are also flowing for others and for us also. So that is wonderful. And to talk about our mentors, it's like it's never ending. It is not like we can't take it in a short time. So it is like so much to say, but then now we are in short of time. So now the questions are going to end. But then now we are going to come into the second segment, which is like a rapid fire round. So I know you both are confused, you both are a little short.
Before this, you asked me one thing, no? The question that ups and downs, what really helped you? So I said mercy of the devotees, prayers of the devotees, of course, my mentors,
Yes.
and of course my spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So I think he was exceptionally concerned, and like an amazing spiritual master with so much of transcendental energy and an unbelievable personality. So I think it is the mercy of my spiritual master, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Even today, at least that it's still somewhere there in ISKCON is because of his mercy, that at least no matter what nonsense, I'm still doing, or we're still doing, Guru Maharaj is still willing to accept under his umbrella, like a mother hen, just keeping everybody under him. And so I think it's only that's something I just wanted to add this. Yes. Before you get into this.
Thank you. Thank you, Jai. That is wonderful. So the next second segment is like rapid fire round. So I'll start with NandaPriya since she's here with me, and I'll give time for Nitya because I know she's little introvert. She needs time.
Not fair.
So she needs to prepare. So I'll ask you. So rapid fire round, that it should be very rapid. Like we should not.
You didn't tell me that there's a rapid fire round.
Obviously.
It's 7:30 and I have to go.
Mataji's order. It is Mataji's order. I am taking up. It was special request from Sukirti Mataji I got. So I am going to ask you. So, so yes, Akka. So it's very simple. Okay, just be a little fast. What comes in your mind, please tell. Okay. So
My heart is already beating fast. Okay.
What's your favorite food?
Food, noodles.
Noodles. Okay. What's your favorite leela or pastime in any script from my scriptures?
I think Krishna and the fruit vendor.
Okay. What's your favorite dham?
Mayapur.
Okay. Favorite service?
I think preaching and writing. Writing.
Okay. Okay. Favorite devotee in IYS?
Not fair.
Favorite devotee in IYS? Come on, fast. You don't have time.
Mataji.
Okay. Right. Okay. Since you're a Kirtan and you're a singer, so I want to ask you, what's your favorite Kirtaniya? Who's your favorite Kirtaniya?
Aindra Prabhu, BB Govind Maharaj.
Oh, great, great. So, 3 most memorable moments you could remember in IYS.
I think Mataji's birthday party that we celebrated in Priya Sakhi's house.
Okay.
That I think was the first time we celebrated.
Okay.
Then the temple inauguration time. That was an amazing time. So the services that we rendered at that time.
Yeah.
And then Pondicherry trip.
Okay. Okay. Rate my performance in today's hosting.
Huh?
Rate my performance in today's hosting.
Rate? I didn't get it. Rate your
Performance in today's hosting.
Oh, 9 out of 10.
Thank you. That was rapid fire for NandaPriya Akka. Thank you so much. And this is very simple. So Nitya Akka, now are you confident in this? I know you will. Okay. So Nitya Akka, now I'm going to ask you. So what's your favorite service?
Favorite service?
Fast.
Of course, preaching and cooking for Maharaj.
Okay. So what's your favorite festival?
Janmashtami.
Okay. 3 best things in you as a person. Fast, come on.
Difficult for her.
Sorry?
3 best things in you as a person. Fast, Akka. We have a lot of questions.
I don't have anything.
No. Oh God. Okay. 3 most memorable moments in you that you could remember in Krishna Consciousness.
Memorable things. Anything
You
and
can't let her skip like that. You have negative marks.
Yes, definitely. There is a hamper waiting for you both. So you have to answer which is who is best. I'm going to give you the hamper. So please tell me 3 most memorable moments, Akka, fast.
memorable moments. Our yatras specifically, I'm not able to recollect anything. I don't know. One is I went to Puri from Mayapur. It was quite an adventurous trip. So
Okay.
I was doing my Bhakti Shastri. So Mataji Roji were there in Puri. So they just said, come. I have 2 days time. So like, okay, come. So that was quite memorable to see. And yeah, our Vrindavan Yatra, our Mayapur Yatra.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all yatras will come under one. Okay.
All Yatra will come under one only.
All yatras come under one. Don't say that. Okay, then
So,
everybody.
okay, so Yatras will take us one, and one more is trip to a airport. Whenever Guru Maharaj would come, like that is festive for us.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, then last one more. Last one more. One more memory.
I think one Puri Yatra with Mataji Prabhuji, one IYS Yatras,
Okay.
and one Guru Maharaj airport.
Okay. So what's your favorite color?
Hello.
Yellow. Okay. If you're stuck in an island and with whom you want to spend time with or have association with?
Like how where I am here right now.
Oh, I want to answer. I mean, I know, but now the other participant doesn't know where you are actually, right? So please, if you're in an island, so whom you want to have a spend time with, whom association you would like to definitely have?
Madhavi told you.
Okay. So who's your favorite devotee in IYS?
Madhavi.
Say loudly, Akka.
Madhavi.
Okay. So if you have paneer sabzi and if you have pizza in your plate, that is paneer sabzi is Mayapur sabzi, which is your favorite one, and your pizza. So what if Vandita asks you something to give? So which one would you choose to give? So I give you very, very simple questions, okay? Please answer fast. Which one do you give?
We'll share both.
Okay. So, and favorite, so one is that, one more, yeah. So on a holiday, so actually on a dam, which dam do you like? What's your favorite dam? Mayapur dam. Okay, that's all for today's. This is a rapid fire round. So I know this is not rapid fire, Nitya Akka. I would definitely vote for NandaPriya Akka. So there is a hamper for you. I will definitely hand over the hamper for you when I meet. And thank you so much for participating and for telling us all your stories and all your life journey to connecting. This may help to other participants who are like mentees, who are their you choosing you as mentors to know more about you and personally also. So thank you for giving me as an opportunity. There's a mediator to connect the bridge between you
Thank you
and
so
your
much,
mentor.
Vandita. I think it's been so exciting only because of you. Thank God you were the host. I think you're so talented. You can just make everybody feel at ease and peace and open up.
Oh, thank you, Akka. That's nothing. Actually, Madhavi told me make it a little excitement, and so I was like, okay, fine, let me do it.
I think Mataji has a question.
Okay.
Oh,
Let me.
so we have to
Not a question sheet.
No. Okay, now the time is almost done. So I mean, it's beyond time. So yeah, yes, Mataji, please, you raise your hand, please, Mataji. You want to say something, please?
Krishna, I'm so delighted to be the part of the whole discussion, and I loved every bit of it. And I am feeling so ecstatic. Wish you all three were next to me, and I wanted to give you all a tight hug.
Oh, thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you,
That's so
Mataji.
sweet. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much that you participated and you came. I didn't know that you'll be now in this.
Vandita, you are questioning. I have to be there to check what you are asking and to mute you if you ask something stupid.
Actually, I was about to message you that, Mataji, are you going
Not
to
only
come
me,
to...
Prabhu also attended the whole session, by the way.
Oh my God. Thank you, Mataji.
So we will rate you, Vandita. Afterwards, we will rate you with detailed comments.
Thank you, Madhavi. Oh, I'm now nervous and I'm excited too. Thank you,
So we
Madhavi.
request all the participants who are here attending today's session, we would love to hear from you, and we would change the WhatsApp group setting, and we want all of you to message individually. All of you, we want to know from you what are your learnings, what is it that you are carrying home today with this session. So and in future, if you want more such sessions or not, I'm sorry, I'm outside somewhere, so I'm not able to turn on my video, but I'm sitting in a car. So oh yes.
Wow. Hi, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So requesting all of you to share your comments and how did you find it and what are your take homes from this. So I'll take your leave. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So we had a guest appearance today. Prabhu joined. So
Yeah. Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, so that is for today's session. So like as Mataji said, so please do comments, please do post your messages, like how was the session and what have you learned from today's session with the journey from Sukirti, from Nitya Akka and from NandaPriya Akka. So we'll be waiting eagerly to see. And yes, thank you so much. And with this, I'll end. And thank you so much. And signing off, Vandita, Madhavi, Hare Krishna.
Thanks.